Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talk About, the show where I, your host, Alex Brown, talk about whatever it is I want to talk about, whether it be the hottest gaming news or the latest and greatest game releases. Talk About is your one-stop shop for all of my thoughts and opinions on everything going on within the video games industry. Today, on Talk About, we are going to be doing a good old-fashioned episode of news where, I just look at the hottest gaming headlines, like I mentioned. I haven't done that in quite some time because, as you are well aware, I'm sure, because you've been following along for a while now, right? I hope so. But yeah, because of the sheer amount of new game releases there were, I did sort of take a back seat on the news for a while there, but that was mostly because my PC at the time was like really making it harder to make content, so I just kind of just focused it onto the games rather than games and news. But theoretically speaking, obviously I haven't done it yet, but mostly because I got a lot of things in the works right now behind the scenes that I'll show you at some point. Very excited, very much looking forward to it. But you'll see what I mean when you see what I mean. But yeah, because I've been busy behind the scenes with stuff, I haven't been doing a simultaneous news episode and game episode just because I'm a real busy guy. You'll see soon. Maybe not soon. Don't hold me too soon, but you'll see eventually. Big plans. I got big plans. Okay, you'll love it. I hope. But yeah, so because I haven't been able to cover news in a long time, I thought about, hey, maybe let's just look back at the past few months and pick out the news stories I wanted to talk about from the past few months. But well, let's face it, it's just talking about layoffs, and honestly, I am just not well equipped enough or in the weeds enough or in a position to really accurately and or carefully go into layoffs, because that's a really like heavy excuse me, that's a lot more of a heavier topic that I just am not well equipped for, not yet. At least I need to figure out more things within how the industry works and all of that before I can accurately give better opinions on that. Obviously it's awful and it just keeps happening, and it just keeps happening. But I don't really have anything to add to that conversation, so I'm not going to cover any of that because everyone's covered that, and the consensus is that it's awful and it sucks, and we got to figure stuff out. They got to unionize, really, at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. But beyond that, obviously I'm not talking about that. The news stories I did gather up are from this past week because, yeah, like I said, a lot of the bigger news from the past few months is just that, or things that you already are well aware of. So we're just gonna catch back up with today's news. Not today's news, but the past week of news. I am recording this on a Thursday, so if something happens on Friday, which is when this posts, hey, I didn't know. Okay, what could I say? What can I say? Hopefully nothing. I'm gonna feel like a real fool if something happened while I'm recording. Anyways, the news stories that I'm covering this episode include things like a potential God of War DLC or new God of War game, even things like Alan Wake being the best game ever made. What else was there? Five Nights at Freddy's reviews, the movie, of course. And there's more stuff too, but we'll get there when we get there. Like I said, though, hey, I didn't say this yet, actually, so I'm not like I said. But hey, if you like this video, prove it by hitting the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to tell people to do that earlier rather than later, and I know a lot of people out there are subscribed to this channel for the video essays. I'm aware of that, and like I said earlier, I'm working on a lot of things behind the scenes, and it is because of that, it's going to take a little bit longer than expected for the next video essay, because it's all going to go hand in hand to making it even better, if that's what you were here for. But yeah, let's talk about the news. Okay, talk about, that's what the show's called. And like I said, this comes from Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming, and it reads like this. A new report has claimed that a God of War Ragnarok DLC will be announced later this year, possibly at the Game Awards. The news comes courtesy of Spanish outlet area area Hugones. Who I took 2 years of Spanish. I didn't learn a single thing in there. Which has previously reported on accurate leaks in the past. According to the outlet, the news comes from sources close to Sony that claim that the DLC could come as its own standalone game, somewhat similar to Spider-Man Miles Morales. The reports outline that its sources are unclear on how the DLC will be announced, but theorized that all signs point to an announcement at this year's The Game Awards. Yeah, and then that tells you when it is and all that. You already know. But basically, I just wanted to talk about that. Of course, it's a jumping off point. And that's very exciting because once I learned this news, I saw this news headline, I was like, man, God of War Ragnarok was a really good time. It's a really good time. You know, I thought about a lot of the memories I made there, all the people I met there, all the good times. But then it ended, It ended like it should, of course. And I already got the platinum. There's nothing else to do. There was never anything to do. And that game looks good. It's a gorgeous game, has great combat. And it's just like nothing else. It's just done with. And that's that. But now with this rumor, this claim, things might be looking up for good old Kratos over there. Although, with it being referred to a Spider-Man Miles, like it's being referred to similar as Miles Morales was. Also, I don't know why I did this. I have a hair tie. I hair tied my hands together. Is I don't know why, but with it being compared to Miles Morales internally or something like that. What did they say? Sources close to Sony claim that the DLC could come as its own standalone. That sort of thing makes me think that we're not going to be Kratos in particular, because if it's going to be a continuation of Kratos' journey, I feel like that would just be the next full-on title and not this God of War Ragnarok DLC that could also potentially be released as an expandalone, like Miles Morales. So if that's the case, obviously a lot of the also minor spoilers for God of War Ragnarok, by the way, because how else can I talk about this without minorly spoiling it a little bit? Also, we're like a year out from that game. If you haven't played it by now, you probably just don't care because it's on PS4, it's on PS5. You have one of those, I'm sure. But yeah, obviously, if it's not Kratos that we're playing as, a lot of people would think that it's going to be about Atreus slash Loki. I've got to keep calling him Atreus because he's Atreus. Come on. Because of course, where we leave him off in God of War Ragnarok, he is off to become his own man, that sort of thing. He's left the nest, the proverbial nest, sort of thing. Real touching moment. God of War Ragnarok was a great game. Okay, I gotta play it again sometime. I don't know when, but I got to. I'm thinking about. Trying to think about when I would. I have no time because yeah, even November is catch up month. I'm getting off topic real quick. I hope you don't mind. But November is definitely going to be a catch up month for all the games that I have not finished yet from 2023. And then December, I have to play Crisis Core because in January, I have to play Final Fantasy VII Remake because Final Fantasy Rebirth comes out in February. Never played Rebirth. I never played Remake or Crisis Core, and apparently I should because it's a really big deal. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. Yeah, wow, I got really off track. Because of course, Atreus was playable in God of War Ragnarok, so it would make a lot of sense to build upon that foundation that was in Ragnarok when further expand upon it with a DLC or expand-alone game. I don't know if I already said that. If I haven't, there you go. Really well said. I know. There's also can't forget Thrud is out there, and if you recall at the end, actually, you might have missed this if you rolled credits and then put the game down. But if you explore the realms, I don't necessarily remember how I came across it. I was just doing things for the platinum because I wanted a platinum game. I love that game, so I was just running around the realms looking for the platinum or trying to get the platinum, and I came across major spoilers here for God of War Ragnarok. But like I said, if you haven't played it, you probably don't care. I came across Mjolnir, and it was through. She was like, "Hey, Mjolnir, what's up, Mjolnir?" She took it. She flew off. I was like, there's something going on there. That's crazy. Because yeah, Thor dead. Oh yeah, yeah. Now that she has Mjolnir, that would be really cool. New gameplay elements in that way because of course she would likely play similar to Kratos because like the axe, she has a hammer, so it's like a similar sort of swinging thing. But you get new combat stuff with like electricity. I don't know what story they could possibly tell with her because I don't know what story they could possibly tell with any of the Norse stuff that's left because like again, spoilers for God of War Ragnarok, like half of the gods are dead already in Norse mythology in this game. So it's like I don't know what they could possibly do that is sticking in with the Norse mythology, of course. But who knows? Maybe we do end up following Kratos because it is called God of War after all. Unless, of course, well, if they do Atreus, they follow Atreus. He is Loki, of course. So they could do God of Mischief. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Or if it's through Goddess of Thunder, but then that doesn't have the same like name recognition of God of War. I don't know how they would market that. The same way how they sort of didn't know how to market Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know, it's a whole thing. Because if it's DLC, I don't know. If it's DLC, they would just call it God of War Ragnarok colon whatever it is. But if it's an standalone game, it would, and you aren't playing as Kratos, I feel like they would have to call it something other than God of War. The God of something would be pretty cool. If you're not Kratos, if you're Kratos God of War, obviously. But yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. I hope it happens because I just want an excuse to play more God of War Ragnarok. And even if it's not DLC and it is an expandable game like Miles Morales, it's still going to play a lot like it, and it'll satiate my hunger for it. So yeah, let's see what our next news story is. Oh, I completely forgot about this news story. I didn't. Yeah, okay. This one comes from Video Games Chronicle, written by Tom Ivan. Here it is for you folks to see. Also, I have this other thing to show it this way. David Hayter returns to promote Metal Gear, teases, "This is only the beginning." The veteran Solid Snake voice actor was replaced by Kiefer Sutherland in MGS5. Konami has enlisted fan favorite Metal Gear voice actor David Hayter to promote its recent series revival. Hayter portrayed protagonist Solid Snake in 1998's original series entry, as well as in multiple sequels and cameo appearances in other franchises, before creator Hideo Kojima decided to replace him with Kiefer Sutherland in 2015's Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. After Kojima's acrimonious. I've never seen the word acrimonious written down before. That's pretty cool. After Kojima's acrimonious split from Konami, the Japanese publisher released 2018's Metal Gear survived to a lukewarm reception from fans and critics, and until recently the series has been dormant. Also, a lukewarm reception, that is putting it lightly. That's almost a compliment to them, quite honestly. And then we have this tweet. Yes, a tweet, not a post. It's a tweet by David Hayter. He says, "This is only the beginning." The voice of Big Boss, and this is a tweet by Konami. As you can see, you see it. The voice of Big Boss. Let me full screen this. The voice of Big Boss. I'm doing it so wrong. The voice of Big Boss, David Hayter, guides us through iconic moments in Metal Gear Solid franchise. We hope you're ready because this is only the beginning. Hayter has returned to promote Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which was released last week and includes a number of earlier series entries, while Konami is also working on a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake for PS5, Xbox Series X and X, and PC. So, what does this mean? You know what I mean? It might mean nothing. But the fact that okay, come on. It's what do you call it? The fact that it's David Hayter, right? Because David Hayter was not in MGS5, as we are all aware. He is, of course, the iconic voice throughout. You already heard me say what he is. You know the deal. But it might be nothing. But I saw a theory, popular fan theory. I don't know if it was a popular fan theory or just a random tweet that I saw on the internet where someone was like, biggest pipe dream sort of thing is that I don't know how it all works, honestly. Of course I don't, because I am just a guy making videos on the internet right now. But there was a whole thought process where someone said something along the lines of, maybe Kiefer Sutherland didn't sign off on a new release if he only signed off on that one game and not necessarily to return. Or, of course, Ground Zeroes counts as well. But he was just like, that's what I did. That's the voice lines I did. No re-releases or anything. Like, something like that might have been in his contract. And then they're like, hey, what if David Hayter's like, what if they got him back to re-record all of the dialogue for MGS5, Phantom Pain, Ground Zeroes? That'd be pretty crazy. That's obviously like the sky is the limit sort of, what do you call it? Theorizing, not theorizing. Sky's the limit hopes and dreams of that sort of like of thing. Obviously, I don't think that that's going to be it, but that would be dope. Because honestly, I did not play MGS5. Sorry. Okay. I don't know why. I just never got into it. I should, because I pre-played all of them, and then I started 5, and I was like, I fell off. Fell off. I guess it's probably because it was open world and the other ones were so, linear and focused, a lot easier to knock out rather than the openness of 5, which at some point I should get back to. I know it's like a crime against humanity that I haven't played it. It's a really big deal. But it apparently never finished either, so do I want to live with that disappointment? I don't know. But yeah, I did start it on PS4, PS5. I played it when I had the big old sickness everyone had. I don't want to say it because I think your video gets flagged if you say it. You know, the big sickness. Anyways, yeah, that's the big hopes and dreams that David Hayter is coming back to voice Big Boss in MGS5. Of course, I don't think that that's going to be the case. Maybe it is just a, hey, the fans liked me. Here I am again. Thanks for the paycheck, Konami. It could be as simple as that. But I hope it's more. I hope it's more. Definitely just ridiculous speculations. I know. I know. But let's see what our next news story is. Comes from VGC, of course, because VGC very good source of information. Okay, very good source. Everyone should use VGC. Anyways, Larian says Baldur's Gate 3 is still on track to hit Xbox this year. We will announce the exact date when we're sure it's done. Larian has confirmed that I'll go full screen for the news story. Don't you worry about that. Larian has confirmed that the Xbox Series S and X version of Baldur's Gate is still planned for release this year. Studio founder and CEO Sven Vink, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows? He knows, of course. Or they know. Or she knows. I don't know. Anyways, to provide an update on the delayed Xbox version in a Twitter update on Tuesday. Shout out to, I didn't even credit who wrote this. Shout out to Tom Ivan wrote this. Thank you, Tom Ivan, for also referring to it as Twitter. Latest on the Xbox being actively play tested, still on schedule for this year, he wrote. We'll announce the exact release date when we're sure it's done. Baldur's Gate 3 was released for PC in August and PS5 the following month, but the game's Xbox release was held up as Larian struggled to get split-screen co-op working to the same standard on both Series S and X. They wrote it reverse, but I still said it right. Following a meeting with Microsoft's head of gaming in August, Vinky announced that the Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 would arrive later this year after split-screen co-op was removed as a feature on Series S. Larian has previously said on several occasions that it believed Microsoft required full feature parity between the Series X and S versions of the game. However, Xbox boss Phil Spencer later suggested that feature parity wasn't actually a requirement and that he doesn't see a world where the Series S has to miss out on certain games. And that's good enough of a jumping off point, as you are aware, as you know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that attention because I have mentioned it before in a previous episode of Talk About how they are still sticking to the release date or release window of this year, which is getting smaller and smaller by the day, by the second, by the minute. It's November 3rd right now. It's going to be released in the next 2 months. Okay, that's what they say. Of course, I am well into a playthrough on my PS5, and I gotta get back to that before it comes out on Xbox, and then I buy it again on Xbox because I will do that because I'd rather play it on my Xbox. Is it a waste of money? Yes. Do I care? I should. I really should. But I'm gonna be. Where's my? I don't even have. You see, my Xbox controller is next to my bed because I play it. Also, my phone is lit up. Why? Why? Anyways, I just hate this controller. Okay, I have my PS5 controller right in front of me because I don't use it. Like, why is it all over here and not where I play my games? I mean, I'm sitting in front of a monitor. Probably because I was recording Spider-Man 2 footage. I don't even think that that's right. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I would rather use my Xbox Series Elite controller because it's better, and I just like Xbox more. It's as simple as that. It's more comfortable. All my stuff's there. Get achievements. Good times. But yeah, they keep saying that it's going to come out this year, and hey, don't doubt Larry, okay? We have learned not to doubt them, haven't we? We'll see. We'll see though. We'll see. Moving on though, just a little update for you. Speaking of updates, great segue. I knew that was coming. Remedy provides updates to Uncontrolled 2 and Max Payne Remake. This comes hot off of the heels of Alan Wake 2 being apparently the best game ever made. Let's actually circle. We'll get to that. No, I already started this. We'll do this and then do Alan Wake 2. I didn't order these tabs. Usually I'd order these tabs in a way that makes the show flow better. I just opened the tabs and then I was like, all right, hit the record button, Alex. You know what to do. Because I haven't done this in a while and I just kind of wanted to hit record, not overthink it. You know how it goes. Anyways, I hit record. Anyways, Remedy once again VGC. Remedy provides updates on Control 2 and Max Payne Remake. This comes from Jordan Midler over at VGC once again. The developer also discussed its product Condor and codename Vanguard. In a note to investors, the Finland-based developer provided new information on 4 new titles that it's currently working on. Control 2 continues in the proof of concept stage. The plans for this sequel are ambitious, and we've seen good progress both in the designs and in the game build. It said of the sequel to the 2019 third-person shooter. We will continue at this stage for the next few quarters. We've focused on proving the identified key elements before moving to the next stage and scaling up the team. On its upcoming remake of Max Payne 1 and 2, the company wrote Max Payne 1 and 2 remake progressed into the production readiness stage. We have gained clarity on the style and scope of the game, and we have an exceptionally well-organized team. An exceptionally well-organized team working on it. I almost died. I almost choked on my own spit. With these accomplishments, we are excited about the project and its future success. And that's good enough jumping off point. I just want to talk about how Remedy is firing off on all cylinders with the fantastic reception of Alan Wake 2, which, keep that in mind. And of course, how amazing Control was back in 2019. They just are killing it right now. We don't talk about Crossfire X because that no. Don't talk about Crossfire X, okay? Don't talk about that. But yeah, Control 2 is very exciting because Control 1, whoa, whoa. And come on, if the jump between Alan Wake 1 to Alan Wake 2 is going to be anything like the jump from Control 1 to Control 2, oh, goodness. I hit my mic. I hope that wasn't loud. But, oh, come on. Come on. Remedy's killing it. And then Max Payne 1 and 2 is going to be cool because I played those when I was like 6, and I definitely should have been playing those when I was 6. So I'm excited to see what memories are still in my head about that game. I think I remember the soundtrack. It's like a scary violin. And you're in a hospital at one point. And I really feel like that's going to come out a lot sooner than people think. Of course, Alan Wake 2 just came out, so all of the people who are working on Alan Wake 2 are now moving to, or not all, but a good number are jumping onto the Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. Also, do we know if it's going to be a package deal or is it remake of 1 and a remake of 2? Let me know in the comments below if you know that. I would look it up, but then that would slow the show down. Okay, I'll look it up. Fine. All right. Uh, let me hide my screen. Are Max Payne remakes? All right. This comes from remedy.com, remedygames.com. Remedy Entertainment will remake the iconic Max Payne. Let me go and show you this. Let me show this. The iconic Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, as a single title. It's cool. Really cool. I'm glad that I looked it up because there is a definitive answer on that. And instead of, waiting around for the comments, there you go. So that's really exciting that it's going to be in one title instead of, nickel and diming us for squeezing us for $140 instead of just the $70. It's probably going to be actually Alan Wake 2 is $60, so this might very well be $60. Although they are in agreement with Rockstar, so maybe it'll be 70. Um, but yeah, that's really cool that it's going to be the one-time payment for both of these games, the full Max Payne experience, minus Max Payne 3, which I believe was developed by Rockstar, not necessarily Remedy in the first place. So the Remedy Max Paynes are getting remade, so that's really cool. And they're going to be all released at once. I don't remember why I looked it up, but it's exciting nonetheless. And leads us to our second to last news story because I forgot to open up the other tab. But I just wanted to talk about Alan Wake 2 for a second, okay? As you might have guessed, right? I am playing Alan Wake 2. And as you may have noticed, I don't have a video out on Alan Wake 2 because I'm still playing. I'm playing it very slowly, okay? I'm really bad at playing games these days, okay? Because Spider-Man 2 was the last game I played to completion. Really quick game, really easy game. Alan Wake 2 though is just it's dense. Like it's not zippy, which of course is Spider-Man is very zippy. So it's taken me a lot longer to get through it all. But also because of all the behind the scenes stuff I've been talking about. But what I've played so far, I'm about 6 hours in. Wow. I said I was bad at playing games. I'm 6 hours in. Yeah, I believe my last save said 6 hours and 1 minute. I really like, by the way, very small thing. I really like how it says your playtime. Every game needs to do that because I need to know. Okay, I'm very curious to know how long I've been playing your video game. Let me know. But yeah, as you can see here in the corner there, it's the best game ever made. It's not the best game ever made, obviously. It's one of the best games of the year. Uh, I don't know why Metacritic doesn't do this. As you can see, the scores range from 88 to 93. If you average out those scores, which I think that they should just do, especially when it's like this close, like what's the deal there? If you average out those scores, the Metacritic is sitting at a 90, we'll say, because that's what the average is between those three platforms. And yeah, a 90 on Metacritic is a great experience. Okay, if you haven't been playing Alan Wake, I recommend it. I'm only 6 hours in, like I said, but it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I also would recommend you watch a specific YouTube video beforehand. Let me go pull that up for you right now. Actually, if you have yet to play it, I am telling everyone to watch this video because it is what I watched to get ready for Alan Wake 2. And it was perfect because I am playing Alan Wake 2 and it makes so much sense to me. So let me pull it up. It is what's it called? Okay, that's probably fine. Yeah, it's by The Hidden Machine. There they are in the bottom of the screen there. I'm not going to watch it all, but it's Alan Wake full story and extended lore explained by folks over at Hidden Machine, like I said, where they go into it very much and cover everything. They cover Alan Wake 1. Okay, it's okay. Okay. The what do you call it doesn't have everything. The timestamps don't cover everything in there, but they cover all of Alan Wake 1, all of the Alan Wake books that exist apparently, all of the things that are relevant in Control. They cover all of it, and it all of the DLC, all of everything. Okay, they cover all of it. Go check them out because they're very helpful. Um, but yeah, they're I watched that video and then I'm playing the game, and that is very much helping me because while they Remedy and Sam Lake and everyone is saying you don't need to play Alan Wake 1, you don't need to know you don't need to play everything beforehand to know what's going on. It certainly helps because there are several times in these 6 hours I've played where they make a reference to a character that was in Alan Wake 1 DLC, or they make a reference to a character who was in Alan Wake 1, or there's a reference to a character who was in Control. Just watch that hour and a half video if you have the time. Bite size it yourself, that sort of thing. It's really good. I recommend it. I'll also put the link in the description below because I think it's the best one out there. I'll scour the internet for recaps, and they were the best ones that I've seen. But yeah, I did try to play Alan Wake Remastered before it came out. I just did not do it in time. Very busy guy. But yeah, Alan Wake 2, it's the best game ever made, is what I want to say. And we're going to end this episode of Talk About by typing in Five Nights at Freddy's movie because I just want to talk about this freaking movie, okay? Actually, before we do that, I messed it up. Before we jump off of Alan Wake, I already told you what we're talking about next. But I did see this. No, it's gone. Under latest user reviews, one of them said, yeah, by Enut Butter. They don't even know how to spell peanut butter. They said that it's just another woke movie game. And to that I have to say, what are you talking about? Like, what about Alan Wake 2 is woke? Is it, don't tell me it's because of Black Woman. Is it because Black Woman? Because he plays Black Woman? Is that all it takes these days to be woke? Come on, be better. You know what I mean? It's also, I feel like a lot of the times whenever a game is getting critical praise, people will they'll be like, I don't think this game's good. This game's bad. It just happens all the time. But come on. If Black Woman is all it takes for you to say, oh, this is woke. Come on. But I just want to end this episode of Talk About, like I said, with Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. Came out, smashing box office numbers, all expectations, just blowing past them. Like a $25 million budget, I believe, and it's like 200 million. It's like 10 times its budget for sure. It's made a lot of money somehow because it released on Peacock the same day. So I don't know why people are watching this in theaters. Because I'll tell you what, between you and me, don't tell the Five Nights at Freddy's fans. Movie sucked. Okay, this movie sucked so bad. This is the worst movie I've seen all year. I keep a list, as you can see here. I keep a list of all of the things I've consumed, like movies, books, TV. Actually, not TV. Movies, games, and books. I have a list. I've seen 40 movies this year. Five Nights at Freddy's is the worst one of all of the movies I've seen this year. This movie sucks. It's a horror movie, right? Why wasn't I scared? There's no sense of anything. I fell asleep twice. I watched it on Peacock. Okay. Not theaters, because why would I do that? I watched it on Peacock. I fell asleep twice. I had to rewind the movie twice because I fell asleep. It's so boring. Okay? God. People keep trying to tell me it's a good movie. No, it sucked. It's the worst movie I've seen. It's just too much, too much. I believe it was the IGN review that came out initially where they said, there's too much plot in this. And I was like, and people are like, IGN's complaining that there's too much story in this movie. And they were right. There's way too much going on. What is happening? Why is he dreaming? What is that? What is that even about? It sucked, okay? It sucked. And it's crazy because I did see that IGN review. I think they gave it like a 3. I would give it a 3 at least. Let me look it up. IGN Five Nights at Freddy's. IGN Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, they gave it a 4 out of 10? That's insane. What did they say? What did they say? Bad. The big screen take on the indie horror sensation. That's too much plot and not enough of the game's primal security cam thrills, which I agree with. I definitely think it's a 3 though. The only saving grace of this movie is the set design and the animatronics, which is phenomenal. I just wish there was a better movie around those things. There's about 8 minutes of good movie in this movie. Yeah. Like the 5 minutes when it was actually what the game was. Let me back it up for a second. When the IGN review came out and it said it was a 4 out of 10, I was like, what? That's crazy. Because it never even occurred to me that this movie might be bad. Because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. How do you mess that up? It's such a simple concept. And yet they did by just ingesting it with all of the extended lore immediately, which apparently people like. My issue with it is that it's too much of this heavy lore all at once. Because if you play Five Nights at Freddy's 1, just Five Nights at Freddy's 1, all of that's not there. Like, maybe it is. Okay, maybe you have to look for it. But maybe just throws those in as Easter eggs in the movie. And if the movie is a success, like, hey, it is regardless, delve further into that, instead of throwing everyone into the deep end of the pool day one. Because it was just terrible movie. Horrible. But yeah, it's just such a simple concept that I never even thought of it being bad, and then it was the worst movie I've seen all year. People keep trying to tell me otherwise. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of Talk About. Like I said earlier, I am currently playing Alan Wake 2, so once I finish that game, because that game is a very story-heavy game, not like certain games where I feel like I could do a review impression thing without having finished the story. Alan Wake 2 very much is a story-heavy game, so I feel like I should play fully through it before I do content on it, which I will be doing at some point. I'm playing this game at my own pace, okay? It's nice. It's really nice to be at the end of that tunnel with all of these game releases. Alan Wake 2 is the last one of the year that I'm really interested in. I'll play Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, but Alan Wake 2 is the last big game that I'm like, I gotta play that. So it's really nice to know that I'm at the end. So I'm really, because of that, I feel like I'm more freed up to take my time with Alan Wake 2. Of course, I still have a backlog of 2023 games I need to finish or try out, like Sea of Stars I have to try. Jusant just came out I have to try, but that's not like a big thing I need to try, sort of thing. Cocoon as well. A lot of games throughout the year that I need to go back and finish as well. So it's Alan Wake 2 is still my focus, but of course we'll get there when we get there. But for now, that's it for Talk About this episode of Talk About. If you liked it, prove it by hitting the like button. What's your favorite news story? What do you think about any of these news stories? What did you think of Five Nights at Freddy's? Okay, am I crazy or is this a terrible movie? It's a terrible movie, right? What else did we talk about? This is a long show. I don't mean I've gotten okay. Okay, let's talk you and me for a second, just like person to person. I've gotten really good at just talking, okay? If you look back at the Talk About playlist, like my Jedi Survivor impressions, that was like a 12-minute video, okay? I don't know how I only talked for 12 minutes in that game or in that video. And now I'm talking for 42 minutes, maybe less than that with editing. And I'm just like I could still keep going. Like I've stopped myself. I could keep talking about how much I don't like Five Nights at Freddy's the movie. It was such a simple concept. They messed it up. Apparently though, the fans like it. But yeah, I could keep talking forever. I've gotten really good at that, which I feel like is maybe something if you are looking to make content yourself, something you can look at and be like, hey, I could do that. Because you can see the evolution of me going from talking like this into a mic like a little 12-year-old boy or something like that. I feel like, yeah, if you really look back at my content before, it's a lot of that. But yeah, you just got to keep doing it. And maybe someday you'll be more comfortable in front of the camera. As you can see, I've been making eye contact with the camera. I have the webcam now. I haven't had the webcam in earlier content videos, but yeah. Anyways, totally off track. Like I said, I've gotten really good at talking, as you can see demonstrated there. But yeah, that's it for Talk About. Next week we'll be back with maybe my Alan Wake video. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's like a 16, 20 hour game. Could be. I could come back next week for Alan Wake. But we'll of course come back with more news regardless of if I come back with Alan Wake 2 review or not. So stay tuned. And yeah, like I said, let me know all of your thoughts about all the news stories. If we get God of War DLC, what do you want it to be? Do you want it to be an standalone or DLC? What's your preference there, if you have one? Five Nights at Freddy's, would you like it? You playing Alan Wake 2? If you're playing Alan Wake 2, let me know. I was say maybe you can leave a little mini review, no spoilers if you want in the comments, and I'll read those out in the Alan Wake video that is going to come definitively. I'm also still thinking about doing that Spider-Man 2 spoiler talk. I might. I might. I feel like I also want to replay Spider-Man 2, which just definitely shouldn't do, but I really want to. It's a really addicting game. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna end this video. Thanks for stopping by if you did. Yeah, hit the like button if you liked the video, prove it. And until the next I hit my mic, that's gonna reset and try it again. Thanks for stopping by. If you yeah, how do I end? What do I say at the end of these? Ah, that's all for this episode to talk about. Until the next episode I talk about, of course, as always, stay safe and play some video games.